Alright, so everyone's been losing their mind over OpenClaw. And look, fair enough. Watching an agent actually move through a browser, execute commands, interact with live systems in real time, that's not nothing. That genuinely caught on for a reason. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. The moment you try to use one of these setups for something you actually need to trust every single day, it stops, resets, and you're right back to square one, manually reloading context, rebuilding state, hoping it behaves the same way it did yesterday. What Abacus just did with Deep Agent doesn't just fix that. It changes how agents exist over time entirely, and that difference is bigger than most people realize right now. Here's what I'm covering in this video, and trust me, you want to stick around for all of it. First, I'll show you why every OpenClaw setup people are running right now has a hidden ceiling, and most people don't even realize they've already hit it. Then we're going into what Abacus just did with Deep Agent, and specifically 4 things they changed that quietly solve problems most builders have just accepted as normal. And then the part that's going to actually change how you think about agents, what infinite memory looks like in practice, in real workflows, with real examples. Let's go. Okay, so OpenClaw blew up for a reason. Watching an agent actually move through a browser, execute commands, interact with live systems, that feels different. It's not just generating text, it's doing things. And people ran with it. Developers spun up local setups. Teams started wiring agents into their actual workflows. It felt like the moment where AI stopped being a chatbot and started being a coworker. But here's what nobody talks about. The moment you try to use one of these setups for something that matters, something you need to trust every single day, you hit the same wall. The agent finishes. It stops. And the next time you need it, you're starting over. All that context, the decisions it made, the things it learned, the patterns it noticed gone. And you're sitting there manually reloading state, rebuilding prompts, hoping it behaves the same way it did yesterday. It's like hiring someone brilliant, watching them do incredible work all day, and then they walk out the door and wake up with no memory of any of it the next morning. Every single day. That's not a tool you can actually rely on. That's a demo. And the security side, that's even messier. But before I get into that, because it's actually the foundation that makes everything else possible, let me show you what the fix actually looks like. Abacus built something called Deep Agent, and on the surface it sounds like OpenClaw, but better. But that's not really what happened here. They didn't just speed it up or give it more tools. They changed how the agent exists over time. 4 things. Let me name them clearly. 1. Secure OpenClaw. The agent runs inside isolated virtual machines, SOC 2 Type 2 certified. Encrypted data in transit, encrypted at rest. Role-based access, no hard-coded API keys scattered across machines. No agent quietly touching systems it was never supposed to reach. This matters more than it sounds. Because right now, most local OpenClaw setups are running with broad access inside environments that were never designed for something autonomous and continuous. That's fine when you're experimenting. It's terrifying when you're touching customer records or financial data every day. 2. Persistent memory. The agent stores structured state across every execution, not just conversation history. Actual decisions made, actions taken, outcomes remembered, customer preferences, threads that are still open. It doesn't reset, it resumes. 3. Scheduled execution. The agent wakes itself up, checks what it knows, continues work, no manual trigger, no babysitting. 4. Orchestration. Multiple tools, multiple systems, one continuous process, not a chain of separate scripts you're praying will hand off cleanly. Now here's the thing that hit me hardest when I actually thought about what this means in practice, because it's not obvious until you see a specific example, and when you do, you kind of can't unsee it. Let's talk about invoice follow-ups, because everyone assumes that's a solved problem. It's not. An invoice goes out. Due date passes. Someone means to follow up. Life happens. 3 weeks later, nobody actually knows. Did we already say something? Was the client annoyed last time? Do we push hard or stay soft? The information exists somewhere across 3 inboxes and a Slack thread nobody can find. When Deep Agent handles this, the agent checks in on schedule, pulls the open invoices, and then, this is the part that matters. It remembers how each client behaved before. One client always responds to a gentle nudge. Another one only moves when the tone gets firmer. That pattern is stored. It carries forward. The agent doesn't guess. It already knows. If you found this useful, hit like. It genuinely helps more people see this. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of where agents are actually heading, not just where they've been. Drop a comment with one workflow you'd hand off to a persistent agent if you trusted it enough. I read every single one. See you in the next one.